morning, evening, night, everybody. My name is Juliet.
And my name is Jono, as always.
That's right. And, well, thank you, everybody, for tuning into this.
Best news ever week of the Best News Ever challenge.
That's right. Well, we are many weeks into the Best News Ever challenge in Mark's Gospel, aren't we?
I tell you, Jules, it's so gripping.
It's gripping, Jono.
Yeah, it's more gripping than a child who grips his ice cream on a warm summer's day.
That's a good one, Jono. I like that.
Thank you.
Yes. Well, I think it's time that we actually cross over to our life reporter. Sue, you're live.
Hello everyone, my name's Sue, and firstly, I have a word from our sponsor. Here is a piece of standard cling wrap which you can purchase from your local supermarket. It really is quite see-through. I'm just going to do some folding with it, and I'm wondering if you can probably guess what happens. Now that I've folded a number of times, I'm looking through it really quite blurry. Let me show you how that is. Yep. Sometimes the camera can see through it better than I could. But you can see it's quite blurry and out of focus. Anyway, back to that later. Juliet and Jono from the Best News Ever team have asked me to interview someone who really received some of the best news when she met Jesus. And here she is. Well, I just have to tell you what happened. I live in the region of Tyre, where there are plenty of non-Jewish people living. And in fact, I am a non-Jew as well. But I've heard about the Jewish man Jesus. He has a lot of followers, and some people think that he has come to rescue the Jews from the Roman rule. The religious leaders are quite worried. He keeps on pointing out how hypocritical they are, and he does amazing things that no mere man could do. He's healed sick people. He's fed a crowd of 5,000 with just a couple of fish and some bread, and then even had leftovers. He has sent demons out of people who have been under their evil rule for years. So people are really puzzling over who he is. Is he just a good man? Is he a crazy guy? Or is he something really, really evil? But I know that no one could do the amazing things that Jesus does and just be a good person. And he is so sane. He is the most sane person I've ever met. And I know that someone evil couldn't do the things that he does. There's another alternative though, and most people can't seem to see it. Many people are completely blind and deaf when it comes to understanding who Jesus is. Some are starting to get a bit of an idea as to who he is. They're a bit like a person who has blurred or partial vision. They're starting to be able to see a few things. But they haven't really put it all together and got it clear. It's like the man who Jesus healed who was blind. At first he couldn't see at all, completely blind. And then Jesus leads him by the hand out of the village. And then Jesus spits on his eyes and asks him what he can see. Well, the man says he can see people, but they look like trees walking. And you know what? Jesus didn't leave him that way. He healed him fully, so his sight was restored and he could see everything clearly. Oh yes, where was I? My daughter, whom I love so much, is unwell. She has some kind of evil spirit that controls her. And I believe that Jesus can make my daughter well, even though we aren't Jews. So when I heard that Jesus had secretly come to a house in my region, I went to him and asked him to intervene and make my daughter well again. Do you know what he said? Let the children be fed first. It isn't right to feed the children's food to the dogs. Well, some people would get offended at that. But Jesus was speaking in parables again. Children refers to the Jews, and well, you can guess who he was calling a dog. Me, a non-Jew. But I didn't get offended. I knew what he meant. He wasn't saying us Gentiles couldn't be saved by him, just that the message had to go to the Jews first, and then it could come to us Gentiles. I mean, even their ancient literature talks about how the Jews were blessed by God so that all people everywhere might have the blessing of a right relationship with God. So I responded in the same kind of language too. Master, even the dogs get to eat the scraps that are under the children's table. And instantly, just like that, my daughter at home was healed. Jesus said because I had faith that she was healed. And I went home, and there she was, lying calmly in her bed, completely well. I know who Jesus is. I just so wish everyone else could see it too. Thank you to our eyewitness on the ground in Tyre. And if you don't know who Jesus really is, you can get to know him by reading his teaching in the Gospels and the history of his life. You can ask him to help you to be able to see him for who he really is. Well, that's it from me today. And now it's back to Juliet and Jono in the studio. Over to you.
Ah,
Wonderful. Wonderful news.
That's fantastic. Thanks a lot, Sue.
Thank you.
Alright.
It seems we're about to go into crossover to a joke break.
That's right. Okay, we'll be back in just a few short moments. Hey, what's the difference between Jesus and a pizza? What? Jesus can't be topped! Open wide. Oh, it looks like we're back!
We are back, indeed. Wow, what a good joke. Thank you.
That was a good joke, yes. And, well, it looks like that's all for tonight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all we've got time for tonight.
That's right. Well, as always, my name is Juliet.
And my name is Jono,
Thanks.
as always.
That's right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Make it a surprise.
I guess.
You missed.